Hello everybody, welcome back to Bag Only, the inventory on the Ultimate Iron Man without using any additional storage. In the previous episode we got ourselves 92 mining. It was a nice 140 hour grind for 14 levels, unlocking Amethyst and Runite rocks. We also got 91 runecraft, unlocking Soul Runes and Double Natures. We did the whole Falador Elite Diary as well as a bunch of other random diary tasks, and also 99 hit points as well as loads of combat from getting our Slayer to 91 where we unlock Cerberus. In this episode we're going to be focusing on Slayer some more, but we're just starting out here with 79 prayer from some Insouled Heads. Gotta love a Bloodveld task, it's worth so much prayer XP. So the goal for today is to continue slaying. We're 91 already. We want to get to 93 to unlock Smoke Devils. One, we want to get the Occult Necklace, the best in slot mage neck that gives us 10% magic damage boost. It's going to be huge for Barrows and Zulrah. And then also so we can get a single Thermi kill with 93 Slayer, non-boostable, for the Western Elite Diary, because that's one of the last 3 steps we have for Western Elite, and it's going to be completable once we have this level. But why not start our Slayer grind out with a bang? And by a bang I mean just like the most insane drop in the world. I got a Superior Gargoyle here, and well, see for yourself. Oh my god. Dude. Oh my god. Dude, I've never had an imbued heart on this game. I'm just doing some gargoyles for Dorada. Oh my... What is the chance of that, man? That's a 1 in 520 from Marboil gargoyles. I've killed 17 of them. Obviously we've done some other superiors on other tasks. I've never had an imbued heart on any account on this game. It's worth 60 mil. For those not in the know, the Imbued Heart is basically a reusable magic potion. It gives you, as you can see, a plus 10 magic boost, which is insane because the magic potions we can make give you a plus 4 boost. So that's going to give us 3+ Trident max hits, depending what our magic level is when we use it, which is insane. And of course that boost applies over level 99. I mean, obviously that's now going to be another permanent inventory space. There's actually an upgrade to it as well nowadays. If you grab enough of the dust from killing the Phantom Musper over and over again, then you can turn this into like an overload for your magic. I think it boosts an extra level or 2, and the boost remains like a divine potion for like the full 6 minutes. It's yet another reason that we really need to just power through to 93 Slayer now, so we can ditch our Ancient Staff, because we will of course unlock the ability to get this as a drop from Thermi, which will be much easier than going back to Mummies, and we also won't really need to auto-cast Ancients as much, because we won't really be training too much more Slayer. I'm so sorry about my RNG, guys. Like, I know it's insane. I just keep being spooned on everything, but that is so big. Hey guys, you know what it is, Varrock Basement. We've got ourselves a casket, and there's some red D'hide Chaps tea. I think we got some blue D'hide Chaps tea last episode, or G or something. So one for the collection log, duplicate page, and some elks. So guys, here's kind of an interesting one with this brand new Imbued Heart that I've not really spoken about. We already have 92 mage, but with the Imbued Heart it should give us a plus 10, putting our magic up to 102. I think that ticks down at 1 per minute, and I think the cooldown's 6 minutes. If that is indeed the case, let's go see if this world is free. We should be able to actually now Ice Barrage our tasks, which is kind of wild, honestly. It's going to be really, really useful. The only issue I can foresee is how expensive it is to cast Ice Barrage. I mean, Ice Burst is quite expensive anyway. It also only has a base max hit of 22, whereas Ice Barrage has 30 base max hit, so it's so much more damage. And then, of course, you have the Slayer Helm on top of that. It might even be that it gets a max hit from the Mage Cape. I'm not entirely sure. Maybe if we take this off. Yeah. So if we boost up with the Imbued Heart and we cast the brand new Ice Barrage, then wearing the Mage Cape 2 actually gives us 1 max hit. But that's going to be insane. It's going to be so quick for getting through burst tasks like this. It's going to really increase our Slayer XP and Mage XP an hour. So yeah, just something to think about. I cannot believe we pulled an Imbued Heart. Again, I've never had one of these. I think I've had one Eternal Slayer gem once on a main. And this thing's got the same drop chance, it's 60 mil, and also keeping this might kind of entice us to go to Musper one day as well. So guys, here we are, just going to be carrying on Slayer this episode pretty much, primarily. As you can see, we're only about 122k away from 90 in both attack and defense, because we are training on Controlled, so anytime we're meleeing with the whip, we're getting the same XP in all 3 of these skills. And speaking of, we're also only 800k away from getting 99 strength, so we might see that this episode. If we get a lot of burstable tasks, then we'll sail through these 2 Slayer levels a little bit quicker, and we'll probably not do as many melee hits. With that being said though, we are quite far through this level of Slayer Slayer. Then one more level for 93, which is the goal today, where we'll unlock Smoke Devils, the Thermi Smoke Devil boss, and be able to also go fully complete the Western Elite Diary. So that's going to be the immediate goal. The invent's a bit of a mess, so just to clue you guys in on what we have, we of course have our Teleport Crystal. We've been using pretty much everywhere all the time. So helpful for getting back to our house when we're on Ancients, so we can swap back to Standard really easily. We've got our Mage Cape too, that like I say, we'll probably get rid of one day, but we are keeping for now because we will be using this at Zulrah. It's going to be really helpful there specifically. We've got this insane imbued heart that we picked up this episode. Then we've just got a stack of Laws and Dust runes, which are our everyday carry teleports. Of course, we can't use the rune pouch on this account, so these two runes combined give us access to all of these teleports here. So just 2 spaces for all this teleport functionality is so useful. We've got our darts, which I don't normally have, but every time we do a gargoyle task, I'm processing the mithril bars into darts because we're working towards 90 fletching eventually. And then I'm just keeping these for any burst tasks like Dust Devils or Necreals. We'll probably ditch them once we hit 93. We also have our stack of Lizardman Fangs, 2,200 at the minute out of the 5,000 we need to make the mounted XeRics, which is our passive goal while working towards this Slayer level. We're going to be doing all the Lizardman tasks that Doradel assigns us. We have those unlocked. We're not doing Shamans like I explained last video because they take a lot longer and we don't need the Warhammer right now. So that's a long-term grind, so that's why that's taking up an invent space. And of course we've got our Ancient Staff, which we will be ditching once we reach Thermi because he can drop one, so we don't need to go to either the Wilderness or the Mummies to get this back. But for raiding, you don't really need an auto-cast Ancient weapon, so we can forego this once we've done with our Slayer grind, really. Brimstone Boots we're keeping for Zulrah because they're mage and range, and I've just got some assorted seeds and potions that I've just been holding on to. So yeah, that's pretty much the invent and the stats starting out. So yeah, I'm just going to be slaying, and I'll see you guys in a bit. So in doing Slayer, we ended up doing a couple of Konar tasks, ended up opening a few keys, got some noted magic logs, and a whole bunch of steel bars, which might be useful later, thinking of turning these into cannonballs so they'll remain in the inventory for a while. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Bloodveld Slaying Corner. It's time for quite a large milestone in 2 different skills, that being both our attack and our defense. We're about to hit 90 in both with the death of this Bloodveld, expertly calculated for your viewing pleasure. I say that actually, I'm 4 XP off in attack, so kind of ruined that. But yeah, that's 90 in attack and defense, so all our melees are now 90 or above. We're 118 combat, so we're very nearly max combat. Of course, we're 92 mage, 99 ranged, and our strength is literally half a level away from 99. Still a lot of hours because we only have access to controlled, but really nice to have base 90 in melees. Hey guys, just doing a jelly task from Konar because it's our 520th task, and there's mithril boots, because I guess jellies drop those and we've never killed jellies. So one more for the collection log, not really anything exciting, but that's 298, so really we're approaching 300 things collected, which is kinda cool. Okay gamers, so we are got a hard casket to do before we go back to task. Nothing exciting, but what we have got, I just did a Konar task and we got another absolute ton of steel bars. So now from 2 Konar keys and 1 lot from Gargoyles, we've got 900 steel bars, which is like 3,600 cannonballs. So we might have to take a break from Slayer soon in order to make all these up, but it's going to be really painful with the amount of invent space I have at the minute. And here we are back at the Lizardmen, currently sat on 2,300 of the fangs out of the 5k we need for our mounted XeRics, so hopefully we get blessed on this task with at least 1 XeRics talisman. Otherwise we'll probably end up with only like 40 fangs if we pick up all the ones that get dropped on the floor. Very slowly approaching halfway with our little grind here, and it's not even felt like a grind at all, doing it just through Slayer tasks. I'm not sure if I did a clip for 92 Slayer, but we have also surpassed that. There's just no unlocks at 92, so it's not really very exciting. However, 93, massive level, so I'll see you for that one. So guys, time for a skeletal wyvern task. For those not in the know how we do it, just teleport to Seer's village, come kill one of these guys. I've already brought 4 coal and an addy pick from Prith, and then we get the key and the book just from the shelf outside. You come over here, you use your ore on this furnace. It's really quick. If you just know what you need, it's just a pick, a hammer, and 4 coal. Then you can come over here and just make the shield in like 2 minutes total, something like that. And then it's really efficient to do Skelly Wyvern tasks. These tasks are really inefficient to do for Slayer XP, but the drops are really good here. There's like noted magic logs, and you can get some gems, addy bolts. You can get full prayer pots and food as drops as well. And yeah, I'm just kind of honestly doing these just because there's of course always the 1 in 10k chance of receiving these skeletal visage, and if I got that it would just be a really cool clip, I guess. So that's pretty much why I do these tasks, and I just enjoy killing them. Also, if you don't extend the tasks, then they're quite short. You get like 15 to 20, so it's a relatively quick task, and you know, you might hit a hyper rare that's good for the video or something. Good morning, everyone. I'm here with the cooks in berth up with a hard clue casket. See if we get anything good this time. Ooh, a Guthix rune kite shield, one for the collection log, and quite a decent selection of alchables as usual from hard clues. Hey guys, it's a different day, just a bit of a check-in with you. I keep getting Dagonoths and Necrials from Doradel, and they both drop Snapdragons pretty commonly in terms of seeds. So I currently have like 30-something full Super Restore 4s, and an additional like 50 noted Snapdragons that I need to go make up at the Tower of Life. But it's a good time in terms of having prayer pots on the account. We also have 21 full prayer pot 4s as well. The invent is so full though, farming is so hard, because with all the farming tools and my Bone Crusher and just everything else, there's so much I'm carrying everywhere. It's getting really tight. I need to just stop and like use these magic logs, use these steel bars, and obviously of course as soon as we're done with the rest of the half of these Lizardman fangs, then we can get rid of those as well. But it's just a case of receiving the tasks from Doradel. It's just not really happening. Also, for making super restores, I'm still using the Arendar Pass over here just because it's really easy to get to with the Prif Crystal, and then we take those of course to the Tower of Life and effectively duplicate them with sardines. I think it's probably slightly quicker to go to the Forthos dungeon once we have our mounted XeRics. It's just one of many reasons that being able to teleport around Karen from our house without an inventory space wasted will be super useful. And here we are guys doing Necrials. That's 93 mage coming in. Not too many exciting things with 93 mages. Of course, without a boost, another Trident max hit, the next two being 96 and 99, but still really nice to get a mage level. That's also the level to imbue Zenyte jewelry, which we had to, I think, stew boost up for before, when we made our Ring of Suffering a few episodes back, or maybe it was just a magic potion. But yeah, now we can enchant further Zenyte jewelry with no boost. Of course, next level's a big one. It's the level for Vengeance at 94, and also the level for Ice Barrage without having to boost. So that'll be really convenient for doing tasks like this, even though if we just repeatedly use our Imbued Heart, we can maintain the level and just cast Barrage, which is what I'm doing right now. Still on the way to 93 Slayer. We're about 40% of the way through the level. Alright guys, time to clear up the invent a little bit by getting rid of these magic logs. I figure I'll keep the cannonball materials, these steel bars, for a bit, because we might get more from either Konar tasks, we're on one now, or from gargoyles. So for now, I'm just using up the magic logs. I just really quickly went and did 2 temple treks on easy, skipping all the encounters to get 200 bowstrings noted. If you're not in the know, that's just such a good way on Iron Men to get bowstrings. It's so fast. It took me literally, with the Berg de Rot legs I just picked up from Purdue in Lumbridge, probably 2 minutes to get 200 bowstrings. And just stringing these MSBs before I sell them makes them worth more money, and we get double the fletching XP for very little time invested, so definitely worth doing. Whoa guys, Superior Necryarch just killed, and we got ourselves the Dust Battle Staff. Might be nice for doing construction with, but I really don't think we'll have the invent space to keep this going forward. It's also not really good for everyday use. If you're not using it for extended things like construction, where it would be equipped to save an invent space on the runes, then it's actually really annoying to have to equip it before you use any spell like a teleport or something. So it's not going to replace my massive stack of dust runes. But another unique in this episode from Superiors. This Slayer grind is just going amazingly well. And we're back at the Lizardmen, now over halfway to our mounted XeRics. We've got 2,500 fangs and 1 empty amulet, so that's basically 2,600 fangs. Of course, we need 5,000 fangs. Halfway there. Really good stuff. Maybe once we're kind of 93 Slayer, if we still haven't completed the fangs, maybe we'll come back with Barrage just to get this grind out the way as quick as possible. And with that task, that's a Konar task, and it's task 550 in a row, so that one was worth 270 points. So now we're on nearly 2,000, which is crazy. As for our stats, we're only 129k away from 93 to unlock those smoke devils, so let's just carry on. Hello everybody, here we are killing some greater demons, and with the death of this one and its ash being crushed, that should be 80 prayer coming in on the Ultimate Iron Man. A really crazy level, looks super clean. That'll just give us 1 more point whenever we go somewhere with a full bar of prayer. We'll be able to last a little bit longer, and that's also one of the milestones with prayer potions, where they now give us an extra point of replenishment per sip. They should now restore 27 prayer per sip. The rest of the combats are also coming along really nicely. We're 45k away from both 91 in attack and defense, and we're only 170k away from 99 strength. Hey chums, it's hard casket time. Let's see what we get. Wow, 2 of the same Bandos page, but not the one we need, and then just some junk. Hello everybody, it's that time of week again, the illustrious cavey gravy, the cave juice, the herblore juice that you all love. It should be going into herblore because, as you saw in one of the previous clips, we've got 80 prayer. I think our herblore's 78, so it's quite a bit behind. So let's see how much we get. 14k must have been a good performance this week. That's really, really good. We're now 100,000 away from 79 Herblore. Sadly, there's not really any Herblore milestones until like 81, which is Bruise, and then 82 for our POH healing pool and our Karamja Elite Diary. So a long, long way for either of those things, but always nice to get Herblore XP. Hello gaming champions, here we are at Necreals using Barrage as usual. Coming in here will be 94 magic, which is really the last kind of big milestone level in Mage. We'll be getting ourselves both Ice Barrage without the need to boost with our Imbued Heart, and also Vengeance on the Lunar spellbook, which you need for a couple of boss-based combat achievements. I think there's one at Zulrah, and probably a couple at other places. Of course, at 95 you get Fire Surge on the standard spellbook, but it's not really any good unless you have a Tome of Fire. And then 96 on the Lunar spellbook we get Spellbook Swap, which I guess could have some functionality in future, but I can't really think of anything now. And then after that it's just 99 Mage for the Cape, which isn't super useful. So we'll still be maging, but as soon as we get 93 Slayer we'll probably be slowing down on actually doing Slayer tasks, so a lot of our Mage XP will just come from tridenting bosses and stuff. We were 91 Slayer last episode, which in real time was 6 days ago, which has actually flown by for 2 Slayer levels at this stage of the game, but pulling this Imbued Heart a few Mage levels ago, allowing us to boost up and cast Barrage instead of Burst, has also really, really helped us out. So that's it. That's 93 Slayer. It may be that we do continue to slay until we get a Smoke Devil task, however. You technically don't need a task to get the 1 Thermi kill for the Western Diary, which is part of the reason we're doing this, but we do want to pick ourselves up an Occult Amulet, and I think the chances of getting that as a drop in the 1 free off-task kill we get for Western Elite, I think it's like a 1 in 350, so it's not going to happen. And then when we get our Occult, we'll probably be able to get rid of our Ancient Staff at that stage, and then we'll work on some other Western Diary things and get that Elite Diary done. I think that makes sense. But there it is, 93 Slayer. There's literally nothing left in the Slayer skill except for Hydras at 95, but we're really not equipped to fight the boss one now, so I'm not really too interested in getting these 2 levels at the minute. There is a Diary task to kill a Hydra, however. It'll be very, very easy to make a Wild Pie boost of +5 and simply do it with a +2 and just kill a small Hydra in the Karen dungeon off task real quick. Slayer's one of the skill capes that is good, however, so I'm sure one day we'll go and we'll get ourselves the 99 Slayer cape with a lot more grinding down the line. But as for right now, our immediate kind of grinds to get unlocks, we're pretty much done because we have Smoke Devils, so that's really, really cool. What I am going to do now, though, is continue to get tasks, because sadly we're not yet done with our Lizardman Fangs. I was kind of hoping we would be. We've had 34 or so equivalent talisman drops, so that remains a goal because we've done like 70% of the way there, and it makes the most sense to carry on doing this on task. And then if we pull the Occult Amulet and we do the Western Diary step to kill Thermi, then I'll probably stop doing Slayer there and finish the rest of the Fangs off task real quick. I feel like that just makes the most sense. Hey everybody, there's the double whammy of attack and defense levels because we're training on Controlled, so that's really cool. We're now 91 attack, 91 defense, and 98 strength. Right guys, here we are at Pest Control. I've picked up a Smoke Devils task, but it's a little bit late tonight, so I can't really be bothered to do these. I also need to make these 900 steel bars into cannonballs, so yeah, not going to go straight into this task, but what I'm going to do is do a little bit of Pest Control. What we need for the Western Elite Diary down here is, of course, the Thermi kill, and then also some Chompy kills and a full set of Void. Really, really easy achievements now we have the Slayer level. Now what I have done is I've already done 2 hours of Pest Control on the top level boat with the medium combat achievements done, just to see kind of how many points we'd end up with, and I've got over 450, about 490 I think I had some to start with, so really it's only looking to be probably 4 or 5 hours these days to get a full set of basic non-elite Void with 1 helmet, and also there's also the option to sell it back to the dodgy squire, wherever he is, this guy over here, for 80% of what you paid for it. We can come back and sell it back for like 690 or something, and then we can use those points again later down the line to either buy Void again for bossing like Vorkath, or just cash it out on prayer XP, so it'll be really, really nice. So yeah, straight onto the lander, going to do some Pest Control games. Hopefully it's nice and smooth, and maybe we'll get Void tonight or tomorrow. Right, gamers, here we are at Pest Control. We're done. That's 7 points for our game, 854 in the bag, and of course it's 850 for a basic set of Void, which is what we're here for. Now, I'm not going to claim the Void immediately, because we've got a couple of other achievements we want to work on, and I kind of think we could use the Void in a bit for when we're going for these 1,000 Chompy kills. I might as well just come here and claim full range Void, instead of going to Black Dragons and getting D-Hide, because that'll take a little bit more time. But there it is, it's done. Probably 5 hours-ish. Of course, it'd be even quicker if we had the hard combat achievements done, because then you get 8 points a game instead of the 7 we're currently getting. So what we'll do first, because we've already got our Smoke Devil task, is I'll just go prep the inventory to go do some regular Smoke Devils, and we'll also do one Thermi kill with melee. So I'll go get the double mold first from Giant's Foundry. We'll turn all these into 3600 cannonballs, but first let's crack an easy clue I got from sand crabs last night. There you go, not very impressive stuff. So yeah, it's going to be cannonballs for me, and then I'll see you guys probably at the Smoke Devil cave, and we'll try and make some account progress. Okay guys, here we are in Prif, we've got our double mold. What I'm going to do, this seems kind of wild and kind of crazy, is actually alch our D boots, but also alch our whip. Maybe we could use this for barrows to get KC, but I don't really care too much about that. And since the next few activities we'll be doing will be solely with either the ranged combat style or the magic combat style, then what I'm going to do is just literally just equip some of our mage stuff, free up a little bit of inventory space. Now what I'm going to do to try and get the Thermi kill is literally just turn on my Ring of Suffering's recoil effect and kind of let Thermi kill himself on us as we dump DDS specs into him. Maybe we'll do it in 2 trips, it doesn't matter, we literally need 1 KC. And then the rest of the Smoke Devil tasks in our grind for our Occult Amulet will be through Ancient Bursting. So we're not needing melee for that. We're going to be doing a lot of chompies with range, so we also don't need our melee stuff. And then it might be time to head to Barrows, where we'll be using our Trident, and then after that probably Zulrah, where we'll be using Mage and Range. So we're not doing any melee for quite a long time, so that's why I just decided to fully get rid of our whip. Hello gamers, here we are at Thermi. There's no one on this world and I'm pre-buffed, so I'm just going to go straight for it. I've got a DDS, and that's what we're going to be fighting this guy with. We're just going to spec him, so let's see if we can kill him with 4 big specs and then literally just DDS pokes. I was hoping for more damage than that with the 4 specs, but there we go. He's probably just going to chip himself down and I'll just eat potatoes. It's an absolutely scuffed setup because obviously we sold our whip. But yeah, literally I just need like 1 kill here for Western Elite, so that's all we're doing. But yeah, Thermi is kind of an interesting boss. It's probably one that we can very easily kill once we have our POH pool that heals us. We can just run home between like single kill trips like a lot of max people do, get spec back, get health back, get run energy back and come back again, and just do like a full task. But currently we don't have access to that pool because of course we're still missing the 82 herb law, so we can boost to 87 to be able to get that. Still a long way away, but yeah, largely just recoiling this guy down as you can see, and just bopping him. But there it is, very lazy recoiled down Thermi, and that's an elite task in the Western Provinces area, and that gives us 15 Toad Flax, which is really nice. Right chums, here we are. Here's the gear, here's the inventory. We reclaimed our cannon for free, because if you let it decay on the ground, then the next time you go to buy one, the dude's like, yo, don't worry, it's free, lad. I think we'll splash quite a bit in Proselyte, but honestly, if it's awful, then we'll go swap these 2 pieces to Mystics or something from the Wizards Guild. And so what you're supposed to do, really, is just run between these 2 skeletons. And once you have a couple of them lined up, then we'll walk out and we'll start freezing, and then we can refill our cannon when we next want to set up the next lot, once we've burst these ones down. Seems like a lot more setup than some burst tasks, but you know, we're just here for that juicy amulet. I'm not really too worried about the efficiency of our Slayer at this point. Right guys, there it is, Smoke Devil task complete. Sadly, no occult, so we're going to have to go back to Doradel and search for some more Smoke Devil tasks, but like I say, we do have a lot of skips. We may end up going through like all of our 2k Slayer points doing this, so yeah, a little bit disappointed to not get it from the first task, but of course we only killed 147 and it's a 1 in 512, so very unlikely to see it on our first go round, but we did kill Thermi at least once for our Western Diary, which means we now only have 2 things left, which is of course cash out our pest control points on a full set of Void, so we'll do it once we've finished getting our occult amulet, and then go kill 1,000 chompies. Now we have 300 already from doing Western Hard, and those count, so we need to go do 700 more, but I think I'll just wait till we've done with the occult amulet, then we can claim a full Void set, and then we'll just use that to get the chompies. So back to Doradel, doing some Slayer. I'll clue you guys in if we either get Smoke Devils again or Lizard Men again. Hey everybody, here we are at Doradel once again. I've now done 2 Smoke Devil tasks and 1 task of Lizard Men since getting our Void points. We've got ourselves 2 XeRick's Talismans from this last task, which is super good. As you can see, if we dismantle these, they turn into 100 fangs each, so we only need 13 talismans more. So let's see if we can not spend too many points to get one of those 2 tasks again, and then we'll head straight back to it. It does suck because I'm skipping so many good tasks here, but again, we've got rid of our stuff, and there we go, Lizard Men again, so see if we get any more talismans. We're getting there, guys, we're getting there. Oh, guys, used 1,000 Slayer points already, and I've done Smoke Devils exactly twice. I've done Ankus 3 times today. I'm really bored of doing Ankus, but you get assigned like 60, and they're burstable, so you can't just not do them. There it is, Smoke Devils. We're currently on, I think, 240-ish KC for the 1 in 512 necklace. Wish me luck. Of course, much better chance from the boss. It's like a 1 in 300, but he's much slower to kill, and we don't have the healing pool, so he's not efficient to fight. Hey guys, here we are doing some Smoke Devils. I just got a Dragon Med Helm and a Dragon Stone back to back. Now the D-Med here is 1 in 4,000, and then the Dragon Stone's 1 in 2,000. I just got them in like the same stack of Smoke Devils. And in the same task as both those rare drop table rolls, we got our Occult Necklace, the 1 in 512, and this came in at KC 367, which is our 3rd Smoke Devil task. Kind of good, because we went through most of our Slayer points to get this, so really glad that's out of the way. Now we can move on to doing some other things, like finishing our Lizardman stack and doing the Western Elite Diary. We got ourselves our Amulet of the Occult. It only has 2 prayer instead of 5, it has no melee bonuses, no defensive bonuses, but it has 2 more magic accuracy, but the big thing is 10% mage damage on a single item, which is absolutely insane for mage, if you consider the fact that the imbued God Cape is 2% mage damage. So if we take a look now with Ice Barrage, we hit 33 with the new necklace on. If we swap back to the old one, of course, we hit 30. And if you're on task, I think it's still only a +3. I don't think it rounds up to 4. But that's still insane. 10% more DPS with AoE spells. Really, really going to help with further kind of ancient usage. The Trident now. So with it on, we hit 32 apparently. But if we take it off, then our DPS plugin tells us that we hit 29s. So yeah, with this amulet alone, we've got +3 more damage with just this switch to our barrages and also to our Trident, and that's only going to be increased even more as we get even higher mage levels and better gear, but a huge upgrade, and the whole reason we spent literally almost all of our Slayer points skipping for Smoke Devils. So the next thing we have 11 12, 13 more Lizardman amulets to get these 5k fangs for the mounted XeRics in our house, so we will be looking towards getting that probably off task. Since we've just finished a task though, we will go back to Doradel and just see what he gives us on the off chance it is Lizardmen, but regardless we'll probably just go do some bursting over in the Lizardman Canyon, try and get these 5k fangs done and then build that upgrade in the house and free up yet another space. So here's the place. I'm just kind of keeping zoomed out. I've got the individual fangs and the inner talismans tagged, and I'm just kind of put my cannon somewhere in the middle and just hoping that's good enough to just kind of tag a bunch of them. They're not really clumping up in a nice way that I'd like, but sadly there's lots of terrain that they can just shoot over, so they don't always come running up to you. Oh man, guys, I'm just healing and buying some food and swapping my spellbook back, and my cannon's killed a lizard man and there's a talisman on the floor, so we need to hurry up back and see if we can pick that one up. This is going amazingly. We've had like 7 talismans in this half hour we've done, getting to the end of our cannonballs now, but honestly even if we have to manually kill the next like 5 XeRics talismans worth of lizardmen, that's totally fine. We're 90% now of the way through our goal. There it is, a XeRics talisman. Thanks, cannon. You got one for me while I was away, that's really nice. Hey everybody, there we go. We've got 4,999 fangs in her, and then there's the 5,000th fang on the ground, and we have an extra empty XeRics. So that's it, everything we need pretty much for our mounted XeRics in our POH. We just need to go grab a hammer, a saw, I think a mahogany plank, a gold leaf, and then also with that I don't think we'll be needing to burst for a while either. And with our new source of the ancient staff being Thermi now unlocked, we should also be able to get rid of this and get even another space in the inventory. Of course we went through all our cannonballs quite a while ago. Had to just continue bursting without them. In the meantime, we got ourselves 6 Ranarr seeds and a Torstal seed, so a nice batch of Herblore XP as well from this little grind here. As for our cash stack, when doing Slayer, we peaked at about 8 mil cash. We're now down to 2.4, so we've spent many millions on barrage runes in the past few weeks, but it has got us to getting to close to 95 mage, and of course we're getting a little way through 93 Slayer as well. And okay guys, here it is, months in the making. We've got everything in our inventory. Let's head inside our house in build mode and finally make our mounted XeRics talisman, an item that only requires 72 construction and is boostable from like 64, so we could have done this 20 levels ago, but we just didn't have the fang grind done, but now we've done it. So let's build in the amulet space, and there it is. So our house is now complete functionally. We have every maxed thing in the house. If you check the teleport menu, all these teleports here have unlimited charges from our house. house, so we can go to a bunch of places around Korend. But for example, we can go down here to Shazian, we can go over here to Hosidius, which is really near the herb patch. It's going to be super useful for getting to that one. I've been running from the Tithe Farm minigame teleport to dig up our herbs here. It's been really, really annoying to get there, so that should be amazing, and also good for getting to Forthos Dungeon and doing construction contracts. It also gives us another way to get to the Korend Catacombs, even though we already have that in our Nexus. And you can also get to XeRick's Inferno, which is low Vacenge, close to Blast Mine, close to the Daily Dynamite shop, and also the quickest way to the Brutal Black Dragons, if you ever get those on task, which is also really, really nice. And then there's a couple more teleports on it. This one, which is the Chambers of XeRick Telly, you just can't use it yet because you need to get the little stone from the Chambers of XeRick loot chest, and then you can use that on a XeRick's Talisman, but I believe they made it so you can use it on your mounted one as well. We're now done with Slayer, we're done with Lizardmen, we're ready to absolutely just slap around some Barrows Brothers and get some really good gear pieces and work towards the Mauritania Elite Diary long term, but in the short term we have 2 more tasks left for Western Provinces Elite. So let's get rid of our Proselyte real quick, our Ancient Staff. Of course we already got rid of our Whip, our D Boots and a bunch of other stuff. Dragon Defender we're not going to need for a long time, but we can't actually alch this, so I'll just drop it on the ground. And then finally the Ancient Staff we've had for so long that we got from Desert Treasure 1 Mummies. This isn't the one you get as a reward from Desert Treasure 1, if anyone remembers that. Then we'll just drop these darts and these runes, and then when we go plant these seeds we'll have just a disgustingly clean invent for this account. We have almost like 19 invent spaces here, which is crazy. Also what I've done is I've been and done just a handful more games of Pest Control real quick to get over 890 points. It's going to be a bunch of collection log slots because we've never owned Void before on this account. The last piece is one of the helms, so we'll be starting off with the Ranger helm. What you can do if you weren't aware, I've mentioned this before, but there's an NPC over here that almost no one would ever use called the Dodgy Squire, and he'll actually take your Void pieces for an 80% point refund, which means for one of the helmets, which costs 200 in the Void shop, we can sell it back to him for 160 and get most of the points back, which means with an additional 40 here, I can buy full ranged Void now. We can go do our 1000 chompies with it just for fun, just so we have an easily accessible ranged armor set. We can get rid of the Ranger helm, sell it. We can instead buy the Mage helm, and then we'll just have full Mage Void for Barrows. Anyway, there's the Elite Diary step for getting full Voids. Let's check that real quick. Of course, only one task left, which is to kill another 700 chompies, but once we do have this done, there's some really, really nice rewards for the Elite Diary, which I'll go over when we get it. We'll get all the stuff we need to do, just some chompy bird hunting, and we'll get set into that for a few hours to get 700 chompy birds. So guys, just doing a little bit of farming here, and guess what? We can now go to XeRick's Glade and do our awesome Korend herb patch that never dies, straight from our house without any additional items, thanks to the mounted XeRick's. Really, really good to have this thing done. It's just going to make farming at this patch super, super easy, along with all those other things I mentioned before. So good morning guys, here we are at the chompies with our Void, our chompy bow that I had to go make, because I forgot that you could just buy one back from Rance apparently, and then 200 ogre arrows that Rance has hooked us up with. We're now on 301 chompies killed, and we need to kill 1,000, so we've got 699 more to go. Just gonna go straight for it. I'll see you guys when it's done, or if anything interesting happens in between, and then we'll work on whatever it is we're working on after that, so see you soon. So here we are guys, that was about an hour of chompy kills. We've used 70 of our 200 arrows this hour, and with this awesome plugin called Chompy Hunter on the plugin hub, it shows us our chompies per hour and chompies this session, so we're getting around 180 chompies an hour, and since we only need 700, that's only like 3 to 4 hours of very efficient chompies. We're now at 486, which is pretty much halfway to our 1,000, and it seems like we'll probably run out of ogre arrows part of the way through, so we'll either go kill wolves and make more, or we'll replace our bow with the comp bow, but I think that bow's actually worse, so we'll probably just make regular ogre arrows, but that's an hour of chompies. Dude, sometimes like chompies get kind of intense when you get like 7 spawning at once. Look at this. There's so many of them on the screen, you've got to like cycle between them really quickly. But we are coming to the end of our arrows here. I've got 9 left. I have made an effort to pick up every arrow that falls on the floor. To do these last 200, I'm probably going to have to go make about 100 arrows extra. So I'll nip off, kill some wolves, make some more, come back for an hour and a half, and we should have this diary done. And I figure the best place is here at the Stronghold of Security. Hopefully we don't have to answer these stupid questions because we've completed this in the past. We're just going to go through to this wolf room where the wolves are level 12, level 14, because the wolves over at the chompy place are like level 50, level 70, something like that. So they're a lot tankier, and they drop the same bones. And then there's actually a merchant where you do the Zoga Flesh Eaters quest just outside Castle Wars that actually sells the Achy Tree logs in his shop, so we don't need an axe to chop our own arrow shafts either. And we've also got a nice stack of feathers from the actual chompies we have killed. Seems anywhere from like 3 to 6 arrow tips per wolf kill, so that's not too bad. Only take us a couple of world hops here to get about 100. Right guys, here we are with 997 chompies killed, and there's a whole bunch more on the screen, so we're very nearly done with our goal here of 1,000, and then we can immediately go turn this diary in at the Grand Tree, and then I'm going to dash straight back, because with the diary we will unlock the chance of receiving the Chompy Chick pet, and with so many of these chompies on the ground, we've got a lot of chances here to actually roll the pet. So yeah, quite a decent grind actually. It probably only took, from the 300 chompies that we already had, maybe like 3.5 hours, maybe closer to 4 if you include the time we went and made arrows. So yeah, knock that out in a day pretty much. There are more chompy hats for the collection log all the way up to 4,000 KC, but we won't be going through those because there's no real point. It's just log slots, it doesn't give you anything in regards to actually progressing the game. So what we need to do is really quickly make 13 inventory spaces, I believe, because you need to claim all the lower tier hats before he'll give you the 1,000 kill hat that we need for the Elite Diary. And there we go. That's all of them, so let's grab all our junk back real quick. We'll take our bellows because we will be going back to do more chompies. So here's the Elder Gnome Child. We'll speak to him, we'll get our Banner 4 and our 50k lamp into Herblore, which will put us relatively close to 79. But the perks for the Western Elite Diary certainly are exciting. We get unlimited teleports now on our Banner, which is really, really cool, which is only really useful for a couple of clue steps, but it is useful for those clue steps. Oh, it's a shame all our chompies have despawned. Okay, I can stop rushing. But what we do is we always get 2 chompies now every time a chompy spawns, so getting further chompy kills will be even quicker going forward. We also have a chance of receiving the Chompy Chick pet, and you actually get a roll every time you kill a chompy, and an additional roll at the pet every time you pluck a chompy. So yeah, if we kill about 250 chompies and pluck them all, then we'll be on drop rate for the pet, which is a little over an hour, which is why I'm back just to do more of these. But again, we do only have 49 arrows left. And then also we get ourselves 150 ogre arrows per day instead of 100. We also get more Slayer points from Steve. His Slayer points now go up to match the amount that Doradel gives us. And then the other massive unlock we get for this Elite Diary is, of course, 1 free death per day at Zulrah. So basically how that works is if you're fighting Zulrah and your health goes down to 0, instead of dying, it just fills your health and prayer to 100%, and you continue where you were in the fight. So that's really, really cool. It'll help us when we're on our Zulrah grind once we've got our Carols / Arims from Barrows going forward. But for now, we will be just grinding away for this Chompy Chick pet. Like I say, 1 in 500 per chompy kill, and 1 in 500 each pluck of the corpse, so we should expect to see it within the next hour or 2. Hey, there it is guys, awesome, we got the Chompy Chick. I don't know where he is, but yeah, that was literally our last arrow, so that's awesome. So there it is guys, he's just appeared behind us. Like I say, yeah, I literally had 1 ogre arrow left, so I would have had to have left soon to go make more, kill some more wolves, do some more fletching, so that's really, really cool. We've got the best pet in the game. Totally worth it. That's obviously the best thing you get from doing the Western Elite Diary. That's our chompy grind done. We ended up on 1126 in total, probably about half the drop rate to get this guy, but it's a very, very quick pet to get. I would definitely recommend if anyone wants a cool pet, just do your Western Elite, come get this guy, he's awesome. So with that done, I've got a few other little shenanigans in mind, which I'll clue you guys into in the next clip, but a really, really nice little chill day there of doing chompies, only about 5.5 hours in total to get all the kills and get the post-diary pet. Okay guys, next up we do need to go back and just kill a couple more chompies because I need to make some wild pies for what I have planned next. So I've just been to Lumbridge, made some pie shells from the recipe for disaster chest, just grabbing some bear meat. I believe it's bear meat, rabbit meat and chompy meat in order to make wild pies. And then what I want to do is actually do one of the desert elite steps real quick, which is simply to cook a wild pie in Narda in a particular oven, and that's 85 cooking, we have 87, so hopefully 1 out of 5 of these pies will cook successfully, and we can knock out our first ever desert elite task because we haven't done any of them. And then with that wild pie we'll head over to Korend, Mount Koralum dungeon, and see if we can use this to boost our Slayer by 2 and kill a Hydra for a Korend elite task. Now I'm not sure which oven it is. It says inside the Narda clay oven. I guess this is a clay oven, so let's just cook 1, see if it gives us the desert elite task to make a wild pie here. There it is, successfully cooked. So I'll probably go get an MSB together with some basic ammunition and like some food and pots, and we'll head over to Korend and see if we can get a single kill on a Hydra for one of our last 3 Korend elite steps. So guys, to kill one Hydra for the current elite achievement we're seeking, I'm just going to go down here and make some amethyst arrows. I've not actually mined any amethyst since we did our 140-hour mining grind in the other episode, but of course we have 92 mining. We also have some big crafting levels and some big fletching levels, so we can actually make amethyst arrows from scratch. So we're in. We've just got a basic rune pick, but honestly I only want like 3 or 4 amethysts, so I won't be here very long, just a couple of minutes probably. But this here is the elite diary zone, as you can see. It's a lot quieter than the zone over there. As you can see, all the amethyst in that one's been mined out by people who just get the mining level and just come camp this for money. But if you have done, of course, all the Falador achievements like we have, then you do get access to this sort of private section where all the low-level, just mining pure alts and whatever can't come in and steal your rocks. We've also, of course, got the Brimstone boots from the previous episode from the Drake's Claw drop. They act as the boots of stone, so we won't be taking damage in there, and they have a nice 5 range boost. Okay guys, here we are, ready to kill a Hydra in the dungeon. We've got ourselves an anti-poison sip, a random defense part just because I was at the shop anyway, and see if I remember how to do these guys. I think they attack with either range or mage, and then like they swap after a number of attacks. So let's see what our DPS is like. Obviously we're off task, but we are in Void. It seems like our max hit is 25 with these amethyst arrows, and we have an 83% chance to hit, so that's really, really crazy good. Absolutely tearing through this guy. But there we go, there's our current elite task. Let's teleport out real quick. We need 90 woodcutting to get a redwood tree chopped down. Very, very easy, but I'm not really in a rush to do that because we're just waiting for forestry to come out before we even bother looking into more woodcutting. But again, one day on this account, I do want to get 99 construction, and in going for 99 construction, I will end up with at least 91 woodcutting or so, just from chopping all the teak logs to make the planks for that. And we'll probably also at that point be closer to being able to do a raid by ourselves. So yeah, 2 steps left for Current Elite. That was a nice little bit of chompy-based content. Right guys, with our ranging done, our chompy's finished. I've just sold the Void Range Helm to the Dodgy Squire for 160 points, leaving us with just enough to buy the Void Mage Helm. So now we have a nice full juicy looking Void set. We've of course got an Occult, we've got ourselves a Trident, we've got ourselves a Mage Cape too. We've got some boots that provide Mage bonus as well, so we've actually got some quite decent gear. I could obviously go and get Elite Void now with 400 more pest control points, probably only take like the rest of the day, but I don't really want to bother upgrading this quite yet, just because when we go to Barrows, as soon as we get any kind of top or leg piece, I will be keeping them, because obviously our immediate goal is to get any full set, so I'll be keeping every single piece we get as a drop, which means we'll be just randomly equipping pieces that we do receive to save inventory space, so we'll be selling our Void back as and when we need to. And I think we're actually pretty much ready to head to Barrows now. All we really need to do is go pick up the Gommel's Hilt 2 from Gommel at the Warriors Guild, and then head over. We'll probably leave that for the next episode, I think. We made a nice little bit of progress here, specifically a bunch of different diary tasks, a lot of Slayer levels, and of course a brand new pet, and some really, really cool unlocks, including this awesome magic amulet that's going to give us at least 3 max hits everywhere, with all the different spells and weapons we're using with Mage. So yeah, next episode we will be heading over to Barrows. They have added a new Barrows mini quest as well. All you need to do is go talk to the dude in Barrows and then do 1 full clear, and then you talk to him again and you actually get the mini map enabled in Barrows and a 20k prayer lamp. So we'll be doing that at the start of next episode, and then getting into our grind for Mauritania Elite specifically, literally doing enough chests until we get a complete set of any of the brothers. Hopefully it's Carol's or Arim's, because we also are seeking those pieces in order to go to Zulrah straight afterwards, begin our grind into kind of endgame PVM items, with a Magic Fang to upgrade our Trident, a Blowpipe, and maybe also a Serp. So yeah, it's going to be Barrows next episode finally, guys, so I hope to see you there. Appreciate you tuning into this one, and yeah, take care of yourselves, bye.